Hello and welcome to this video. In this video it's going to be straightforward enough. We're going to have a look at the world of projects within QuickBooks Online. Now projects is a feature in QuickBooks Online on the highest version, so as long as you've got QuickBooks Online and a Plus version. If you do want a cheap version of QuickBooks Online, don't forget to use my link below to go to the Bofix e-store where you can get yourself upgraded, costing you much less than you think. But anyway, what is projects? Well, projects is a way for you to micromanage as a business how your particular project's doing within a business. So one of the great advantages of QuickBooks Online is the amount of amazing reports that it has. But the fact that with projects you can micromanage and look at individual elements of a business means it's going to give you all the tools you need to make sure your business is doing things properly. So join me as I have a quick look at the project section within QuickBooks Online.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me.
Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with a fancy new logo, that QuickBooks chap on the internet, and also head of account over at Bofix. So let's jump into the world of projects. Now again, if I look at QuickBooks Online, so let's get straight into it, you'll see that in QuickBooks Online, if I was going to go into the world of reports, I have all of these amazing reports available, including nowadays the option to go into Performance Center as well, and have these more visual reports available as well. If I jump into something like the profit and loss by month report, which you know if you're regular on this channel, it's one of my favorite reports. You can see I can get a lot of information, my sales, where my costs are being put, and I can go in deep dive into here. But this is looking at my whole business. Now granted, I have the option to go to customize and I can go through and start filtering maybe by customer or supplier from there. But it is a bit of a manual job to be able to get maybe the report that I need. Well, that's where projects come in. You see, projects gives you the chance to start reporting and putting expenses and income against individual projects. Now, first of all, let's make sure we know how to activate projects. As I said, first thing you need to do is make sure you're on QuickBooks Online Plus. So that's the highest version of QuickBooks. Again, if you're looking to upgrade, head over to the Bofix e-store for some discounts on that. Now, when you go to Account and Settings, when you're under your Plus version of QuickBooks Online, you go to Advanced. And from Advanced, you'll notice that there is a project option just here. And from there, we just need to make sure that we have it turned on just here. So press Save, go back to the main screen, and you'll notice on the left-hand side now, we have the option for projects just here. Clicking in projects will start to make you understand exactly what this area is for. So think of the projects area as individual projects within your business. So maybe you're going to go and do quite a large scale project. Maybe you're looking to build a house for a customer, or maybe you're looking to actually build a new computer or build a whole new area. You've got something you know is going to take a lot of time, a lot of man hours, and you want to record against that so that you can make sure that you're being as profitable as you can be and that you're keeping on top of those individual projects. And that's where this becomes really, really useful. So let's have a look at what options we've got. Well, first of all, you've got this area here, which is going to have all your individual projects on. Now we're going to dive into the individual projects later down the line, but you'll also notice top area up here is your hourly cost rate. Now this hourly cost rate is really useful for you. So you can have your different employees and maybe you want to add a new one. So let's put Bob. And once you've added the new employee, you can use this little calculator button here to calculate what their hourly cost rate is going to be. Because if your employee is on salaried time, then you're going to have to pay that employee regardless if they work on that project or any other project. So you're going to have to find a way to be able to split down their costs and associate their costs accordingly. So if I put their wages hour in, I put in the taxes figure in, and I put in an overhead cost to cover what they need to provide for us and press add, then give me a nice cost rate that I can use going forward. And then within QuickBooks Online, I can then ask or request that the actual person fills out a timesheet for me. So I can give them access to only include, so that when they access QuickBooks, they can only see this access of doing timesheets. And that can be a way in which you can automate that process a little bit better. So you can actually push that requirement onto your employees. Here in this area then, it gives me the chance to see and look at this detailed list in a bit of a difference. So maybe I want to see just the completed or cancelled projects that are available. I can see any individual customers, And on the right hand side, it gives me the option to create a new project. When I create a project, I just say, what is the project? So let's say new IT server as an example. Pick what the customer belongs to. So you're going to choose which customer it's going to be. And then what you're going to do then, put some notes you might need to do. Press save, and that'll create that new project for you. Now, how do projects work? Well, basically, what they're doing is under customers now, and if I went to Admin Co, you'll notice now there's a project section just here. And what they're doing is they're actually talking about, or they're utilizing the option of having a sub-customer. So actually, this project area here is actually a sub-customer of Admin Co. So if I was to create a brand new customer here, and I wanted to fill in there, I have this option here for sub-customer, and that's what we're basically utilizing when we're putting our projects together. So back in the projects area, you can see that it's giving me all the tools I need to be able to start putting expenses and income against it. So at the top here, I can see the customer, I can see what status it's at, and I can put the option to put a note or make it a favorite one. I get a nice little breakdown here of what's actually going on, and then it's inviting me here to start adding transactions. And all it's doing when I add a transaction, if I go and put an invoice in, for example, is it's using the same information we would normally do. It's just going to allocate it against that sub-customer for me. So in my case, maybe I'm going to go in and say that I've got some hours already booked in for the install, and that one's starting to bring there. But maybe I also have some estimates that I want to include as well. So I've got an estimate for the amount of, I've got an estimate for a particular server that I want to send over to him. So let's press that, let's save that. We've not accepted that one yet, but we want to start including that there. And then as I start then accepting that server, that estimate, I can then create an invoice directly from here. So I've got that control. I can see what's open. I can see what's actually been overdue at this point in time. So I have a lot of information on here as I need to. But then it's expenses. So I'm definitely going to have to put some hours against it. I can even do start and end times if I need to. So I can say, look, they've come through, and I don't know, this started at 10 o'clock, but then finished 3 o'clock, but finished at 3 o'clock, but then had an hour break, for example. Save and close. And I can also track any expenses or bills I've incurred. So maybe from a bills point of view, I don't know, from there we bought some new pure running costs, and there was £2,000 worth of costs there. Save and close. And as I start putting these expenses and hourly times against it, then it's starting to tell me how profitable I am. So at the moment, I'm starting to lose profit on this one, because even though we've just gone and bought it, we haven't converted this invoice estimate based on this. But now we put all our income in there, we can see we're starting to get our total income, our total profit margin. Again, we can see if it's overdue or not. And I have the option to jump in and see different transactions. So I can see here I've got these invoice estimate bills. I've got time activity as well. So I can see transactions relate there. And I can these wonderful project reports. So I can do profitability. So that's not taking into account the time costs, but it can see the sales less the expenses that we've incurred. I've got time cost by employee and supplier. I can see what time cost I've incurred, so I can bring that into it and make sure that I'm dealing with that appropriately. I've got any unbilled time and expenses as well. So if there's still costs that I've got associated with this project that I've incurred, I can then make sure that I've got that ready and see that, so that my next invoice can account for it if I need to. Now, it's all well and good using this interface to get your transactions into QuickBooks. Now, it's all well and good having all your expenses from the project screen, but what if you want to start bringing expenses in from, say, your bank account? Well, you can interact with any transaction in QuickBooks Online and put it to basically there. So all I need to do, so I've got this expense here and I want to account for it. Well, I would treat it as I would normally, so let's say telephone, but when I come to this area here, it says customer and project, and I just need to put it against that new IT server just there. I can even mark it as billable if I want to include it and pass that cost over to my end customer. But all I do is I press add. Well, that means then if I go to projects and I go to new IT server, and I look at my cost associated, so look at my transactions, and now I'm just going to have expenses, all dates, and you'll see then at the bottom here, it's now applied that £4.80 expense, which is that Virgin cost. So all I need to use is this customer project option here, and I can always add these on. So I've got the option to add it on there. If I press new, and I wanted to put a different expense in, for example, again, I'm using this customer project to count for it. New, bill, I'm having the same option here, customer and bill, customer project just there. As long as I've got the associated customer project there, I can then put those costs in accordingly. And it's the same way if you've got an ongoing project for, like, say, your income. And if I go back to my all project section, you can see that I can see all my different projects here. I can search for them, I can create new ones. And if you've already created a sub-customer with the intention of treating it as a project, you can even convert from sub-customer here and bring them directly in. From my options here, I can mark as complete, I can edit the project, or I can just jump into it, see the more detailed figures, or even add to project up here. Using this add to project up here, I can add any normal transaction in QuickBooks, but it will be associated automatically with this project, making my life easier. Okay, then what do you think to that? That is a project section within QuickBooks Online. Again, we just had a quick look there just to make sure that we can see exactly how it works and what can be done. But as you can see, it's really, really powerful. And for those customers and businesses who need projects and need to be able to record those projects, this can be absolutely invaluable to them. We really do find that this is sort of solution where it can make and break certain businesses, because it gives them the opportunity to really laser focus on those individual projects and make sure each individual project is as profitable as it can be, which overall will make sure that the business is going in the right direction. It really is a typical idea of that idea that we don't want just small businesses to survive, but to thrive, and that's where Bofix really comes into play. Again, if you want to get yourself hands on the project, you do need to have QuickBooks Plus, and again, use my links below. Have a look at the Bofix e-store, where you'll be able to get discounted versions of QuickBooks Online just by using the handy little store just there. Let me know below, what do you think to projects? Is projects something that you should start using? We've definitely started looking at it in different ways as well. It's not just for the building trade and for the kind of builders out there, but any sort of projects can be put into there. When you are thinking about making sure that you are going to recoup the costs, making sure that it is going to be profitable for you. And that's it. Hopefully you've been able to learn how projects can make your life that little bit easier. This is what this channel is all about, making sure that we give content that's going to help you and your small business. My name's been Aaron Patrick. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure to do this video for you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it starts. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want. All the way that I feel, yeah, I know that it's real, 'cause I can get him out of my head. I don't care what we do, everything's feeling new. Even if we stay in bed, my heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want him, nah, 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 nah. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah.
Hello and thank you for watching that video. What you may not know is this channel that you've watched this video from is part of a wider group. That wider group is called AppleCore Production, and the 3 channels that we have involved are as follows: Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks Chat, Bofix Tax Tip. Finally, we have AppleCore Live and Geeky. All the links and everything are down below in the description, but it really means a lot to us if you can go and give a like to the other channels as well.